Imagine being born into a world so cold and dark that light barely touches it, a place where survival doesn't happen fast and brutal like in the tropics, but agonizingly slow. This is the life of the Greenland shark, a creature that can live for centuries, but every single day feels like a punishment stretched across hundreds of years. Birth in the frozen deep. You don't hatch from an egg. You're born alive, released from your mother's body into water just above freezing. There are no lessons, no protection, no gentle nudge to survive. She leaves without looking back, and you drift alone in silence. Your body moves slowly, too slowly. Unlike other predators, you don't have bursts of speed or agility. Instead, chemicals in your flesh keep your organs from freezing. But they come with a cost. You're toxic. Your own body is poisonous to almost anything that eats you. That's your only defense. But poison won't stop hunger, loneliness, or time. Blindness for life. Weeks pass. Parasites latch onto your eyes. Tiny crustaceans clamp down like barnacles and never let go. You will spend the next 300 years blind. But in this world, sight doesn't matter. Your nose takes over, guiding you toward rotting whale carcasses, drowned seals, and anything unlucky enough to drift too close. You don't hunt the living, you scavenge the dead. And when you do find food, it's never fresh. Imagine every meal tasting like weeks-old garbage. That's your diet, forever. The Hunger Games of the deep. Food is so scarce that when something dies and sinks, every scavenger in the North Atlantic shows up. Hagfish swarm like worms, stripping carcasses to the bone. Other sharks circle, faster and hungrier. You're massive, but painfully slow. By the time you bite into the body, half of it is gone. And every strike of your jaw feels like chewing through mud. Your meal isn't a feast. It's a desperate negotiation for scraps. Centuries of emptiness. Years pass. Then decades. Then centuries. You grow just 1 centimeter per year. Imagine taking 150 years just to become an adult. Other animals live, reproduce, and die dozens of times while you're still stuck in awkward shark puberty. But the worst part? You don't really feel alive. Every action, every movement, every meal, happens in slow motion. It's not just a boring life. It's a sentence of monotony, dragged out for centuries. Mistaken meals. Your sense of smell is strong, but it's not perfect. You follow the scent of blood for miles, only to discover a frozen carcass so decayed it's barely edible. Sometimes, you attack the wrong target, wood, metal, even polar bear waste drifting in the current. And still, you swallow it. Because you can't afford to be picky. You are the definition of, eat first, regret later. Encounters with giants. One day, the smell of blood pulls you toward a drifting seal carcass. You sink your teeth in, and for a brief moment, you think you scored big. But then the shadow appears. A 6-gill shark, faster, sharper, and hungrier than you, rushes in. It slashes across your side before you can react. Blood clouds the water. You drift away in pain, and the 6-gill takes your prize. This is how it always goes. You're big, but never dominant. Too slow to fight, too weak to defend what's yours. The whale nightmare. 50 years later, you find a prize so massive it could feed you for weeks. A sperm whale lying motionless on the seafloor. You sink your teeth into its belly, only to realize it isn't dead. The whale wakes up. Its tail swings like a battering ram, slamming into your body with bone-crushing force. You're tossed like driftwood across the seabed, stunned and bleeding. The whale doesn't chase. It doesn't need to. It just swims away, leaving you broken and starving again. The curse of longevity. You're now 150 years old, finally mature enough to reproduce. But here's the cruel irony. Finding another Greenland shark in the endless Arctic deep is almost impossible. When you do meet one, the mating is quick, awkward, and violent. Then you drift apart, never seeing each other again. There's no bond, no family, just cold silence. Your offspring, you'll never know them, they'll drift into the darkness just as you once did. A world without rest. By 250 years, your body carries scars from centuries of survival. Parasites blind you. Teeth marks line your sides. Wounds that never fully heal ache in the freezing dark. And yet you keep moving, because stopping means death. Sometimes you stumble across human garbage. Nets, plastic, even old boots. You eat them, not because you want to, but because your body can't tell the difference anymore. The final end. At 400 years old, you're older than most nations. You survived predators, starvation, and centuries of monotony. But then the shadows arrive. Killer whales. They strike fast, ripping chunks of flesh from your sides. You barely react. Your body is too slow to fight back. They tear off your fins, rip open your belly, and leave you drifting in the current. After 4 centuries of survival, you die not with a bang, but with silence, drifting into the dark. Your body becomes what you always were in life, food for something else. Being a Greenland shark means living through centuries of hunger, loneliness, and pain, only to die as prey in the end. But as bad as this is, believe it or not, there are animals out there that have it even worse. Trust me, it's wild. Stick around for the next video, because you won't believe what comes next.